Alright, welcome back to Scott Traders Hub. Good morning everyone. Yes, it's been a while. We were last here on Thursday last week. Yeah, on Friday I had some engagements that I needed to handle, but then yesterday my throat was very down. I couldn't speak, due to flu and cough. But now I'm able to speak. That's why we have a session today. So apologies for those 2 days where we didn't have the session. Otherwise, I want us to get started today. Those who are just joining us, welcome. Go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and welcome everyone who needs to join us, who you think can join us and be part of that trading community. My name is Dan, as usual, and let's now get started. As usual, you know the drill, guys. We start with a prayer and then get into the session right away. So let's pray. Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you that we are back here. Thank you that we are in good health. We are waiting on making money today. Thank you that you've brought us here back to this live stream where we analyze and be able to get signals that we can take advantage of to make this money online. We say thank you for the opportunities. Thank you for last week's profits. Thank you for today's profit that we're about to make, Lord. and thank you for this week's profit. We give you praise as we finish this month, Lord. We ask of your grace to be part of us. Let us finish the month in power, in greatness, in big money. We give you praise. We love you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. All right. So, yeah, as usual, you know the drill, guys. We start with crush 500. Yeah. Crush 500. So on Thursday we saw, let's see, we wanted sales on Thursday. So Thursday was here. Let's see, this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So this was Thursday right here. We wanted a pullback. We first remove that. So we wanted price to get up there. If I can bring it right here. So we wanted price to get up there on that order block. Was it an order block? Let's understand that. Let's bring it here. Come to H4. Yeah, it was an order block on H4. So we wanted price to get to that H4 order block, and then we start to sell. It happened on Thursday. No, actually it happened on Friday. It happened on Friday. This was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, it happened on Friday. Price reached up there and then sales started. But then we saw a retest. This retest was according to H4 on daily time frame. This retest right here. So we started to sell according to H1 and M15. But then we saw a retest, and this retest was coming all the way from that order block. That is the order block that caused that retest. So that was according to H4. Let me now get to H4. You can see clearly that H4 needed to retest there to give us a confirmation of the sales in a higher time frame, and that's what happened. Confirmation was there. If you can go to H1, this could have been your second entry or your other entry, because this you would have taken that profit on Saturday. Yeah. And then Saturday and Sunday we saw a retest, our pullback, to give us a confirmation of sales in a higher time frame. And now this was your other entry, on H4. So if we go to H4, that would have been your entry on this very candle right about there. All right. So now that we know that, we have a breakout right here, a breakout right there, retest, and now you can see what we are in. Now, so far where we are, there's another order block right about there. You can see it, and now that is a support level. Actually, looking at this move here, this is the first time it reacted to this order block. This is the second time now price is reacting to this order block. Yes, H4 hasn't closed yet. It still needs about 19 minutes to close this H4. So if price fails to close on this H4 and breaks out, that means it's going to continue. But then right here where we are, since it is now a support, we know that price is going to be reacting on this level. So let me go to H1. Let me go to H1. Now, if I see on H1, I see price is oversold right about there according to CCI. So it means that as we wait for H4 to close, it is now giving us a wick on H4. So it's going to be giving us a confirmation of a pullback on according to H1, since this is just a support. So we know that it's not just going to break like that. It is likely to give us a pullback, probably where. So this was a break of structure. It can easily go back to that order block on H4. It can easily go back to that order block and then come strongly, break out, but also it can even go all the way to that fair value gap on H4. That fair value gap that it left on H4, and then come strongly with momentum to break that support level. So this is how I can anticipate the move that are coming next. But then I want to let you know that still price, we are not market makers, so it can easily even break immediately continuing from here. We are not market makers, we are market followers. We follow what these guys give us. So in as much as we would like this retest so we can come in with a sell, this can happen, this very move right here, straightforward breakout and continue with the sells. But of course, if that happens, straight out breakout, then you know that you can always anticipate a pullback once there is a breakout. You anticipate a pullback to that level once there is a breakout, like that, once there is a breakout. But now let's not go to that. Let's wait for what is going to happen in the next coming hours. So enough of this crash. Let's now head over to Boom 1000. Boom 1000. Please, if you don't have an account where you can trade these assets, you can use the link in the description where I say the broker that I use. That broker is called deriv. We use that broker to trade all assets, whether forex pairs, whether indices, whether synthetic indices, whether crypto. All of these assets are available with this broker. All right, so Boom 1000. Friday, let's start with Friday. First, remove history here. We wanted a pullback here, Thursday, according to Thursday. On Thursday, we are looking for a pullback there before we can start in with the sells. So what happened? We got a freak breakout. I remember I made a loss here because my entry was a bit early. Yeah, on the buys here. Let's see, was it that day? No, it was the previous day. Yeah, it was the previous day. So Thursday I never traded Boom 1000. So still gave us a fake breakout, went back into buys, then came back, gave us a break of structure, which was a fake break of structure right about there, and then all of a sudden the buys came in. They came to our target, our first target there, reached it, reacted a bit, then broke that resistance right there from that fair value gap, as you can see, broke that resistance level, and then reached our TP level, I believe. Let me go to H4 now. Let me go to H4. Yeah, clearly it reached the TP because we were looking for that, so we can actually use this OB right there on H4. So it reached that TP, then retested from that very break of structure or the resistance level. You can see this was a break of structure right there, and price reacted to it and then continued with the buys. So apparently you see that H1 is still overbought, but the momentum, the trend is in a buy trend. Remember, we were looking for a pullback to these levels before we can come in with the buys, but we never saw that. It only came back to, let's see where price reacted back to this order block on H4. That is the only pullback it made and failed to reach this level. This was our first target, then this second, third. It did not reach our initial level where we wanted to enter the buys from. So that means we can delete everything right about here. I can't delete this order block because it is still very important. So I can delete the rest of these. Even this now can go. And now price is now again overbought according to H4. but according to daily time frame, we haven't reached the retracement level that we need. So it means it's still going, it's still likely to continue, but as we can see, it is hitting that resistance level according to daily time frame. It is hitting that resistance level according to daily time frame. Now I want to look at H4 a bit and drag it this side. Okay, so probably I can use this order block on H4 right about there, yeah, and see if that would make sense for us price to first reach that H4 order block, because looking at that, price never reached it at all. But then right about here we see a resistance level right there. Have we reached that level? Yes, we've reached that resistance level so far. That is the resistance level we've reached on H4. But then there's an order block above there. So price can give us a pullback according to H4, short pullback, and then continue with the buys to reach that level, which will in turn give us a move according to daily time frame to come all the way back into sales. That is what I see, because price has to touch that level and it may even exceed it a bit, then it makes a retracement according to daily time frame before we continue. Now this is now trying to analyze according to the trend line, but on price action we've already seen that we are in an uptrend, but now this is a break of structure according to daily, so it has to come back to test that level where we got to see the break of structure, which we call the breaker block. It has to come back to the breaker block before it can continue with the buys. So for now we have to wait. So according to H4, I've anticipated price to come back like that, but then yeah, actually it's actually going to, it can easily come all the way here. It can easily come all the way here according to H1, H4, and then we get to see price breaking out there. So for now, I have no business with this asset. I just have to wait for the sales to come in. So I need a confirmation of sales on M15. So if I see any reversal signal which can easily come around on this level, meaning giving me a change of character, if I see something like that, then I know I will be having my entries for the sales. I'll be having my entries for the sales. So now let's wait for the reversal signal on M15 and we enter sales. Enough of Boom 1000. Let's now head over to Boom 500. Hey Judy, hey Robina, thank you guys for joining in and commenting. Good morning. So right now, about on Thursday, according to Boom 500, we were, let me see, this is Thursday. We wanted a pullback there before we can come in with the sales, and I remember I had even entered again buys right here, but price failed to break that level, and I closed. Oh no. Seems I made a loss on Boom 500 again, but I had gone already in profits. Those who remember, I think the ones on VIP, I told you guys to close in time. Yeah, I told you to close in time because price failed to break that level right about there. Just excuse me. All right, so I failed to close in time and I was taken out. So now, after failing to break that level, we clearly see that sales began, meaning that the trend changed from that point. So we can now go to H4 and look at what happened. So we got that as our high, but then the sales were never confirmed at all. So this is when they were confirmed. This is our previous low that gave us that high. So if we see clearly, that is the one where we anticipated the sales. But again, if you look at that, this was never breakout. This was never a change of character. Now the change of character happened here. This is when the change of character happened. And when was that? Let's see. This is Monday, Sunday. It's when we saw the change of character on this level. So about now, we are seeing a pullback. We're going to see a pullback to confirm the change of character or to confirm the reversal. So price is going to come around this order block. That order block, and then we can come in with sales to reach this level. For now, remember we had the buys start from this level, and we've been in an uptrend, but according to daily time frame, you clearly see that when you see on CCI, we are overbought. But now we need price to confirm the sales to come in. So now, seeing what I have on the daily, it's likely to actually continue with the buys all the way up there before we can come in with the sales. But it can even go all the way up to sweep the highs. It can go all the way up there to sweep these highs before it comes into sales. So you need to know that. You don't quickly enter sales before you have a clear confirmation on higher time frame. So for now, what I'm seeing on H1, we are likely to continue selling. Yeah, I mean H4. No, sorry. Price is above our 10 MA on H4. It has already reacted on that order block that I was talking about. That is a reaction there. It has touched it. So this can easily actually continue with the sales according to H4 before this move comes around, the buy move, before the buy move comes around. So if I know that, then if I go to H1, I see something interesting. According to our current data. This is a consolidation that we are seeing. So I see something like this, and something like this normally continues with the sales from this other angle. So this could be our TP that we are going to be anticipating. Could be our TP, so meaning around this level, around that level. So for now, we wait. Let's wait for what? We have to wait for M15, I believe. So M15 has already given us a change of character right about there. So all we need is price to fail to go all the way back up there, and then you come in with a sell. you come in with sales. So this is now very clear for us to understand, and now we know that we are going to be looking for sales. We are going to be looking for sales. We know that we are following H4 and M15 trend, not H1, not H1. Not H1. So for now, that's what I can anticipate for now. So let's wait for that. According to M15, if price fails to break that level and continue up, then we'll come in with our sales. But for now, sales are likely to first reach here and then come back for the buys. When it reaches there, it can come either into sales or break and continue up. But if it fails to break this level, then we'll come in with sales to break out this other trend line down below. All right, enough of that on Boom 500. Let's now head over to V25 1S. So Volatility 25 1S, let's start from Thursday. This is crazy. So, okay, let's start from H4. Okay, it's still crazy. Let's go to H1. So on Thursday, we wanted a pullback here, then a buy. Why? To reach that level, because we knew that we had those two levels as our ranges, right about there. Yeah, this one and this. But then we wanted a fake breakout before price can come there, and later probably break this other level to continue with the buys. Surprisingly, we didn't see this kind of a fake breakout here, so we can delete it. But then this other move that I had put, this one came through right there to reach the level there. So this one came through. Did I enter any trade there? Not really. So after that, we saw a fake breakout here, but then later we saw another breakout that came to this order block right there, then pushed price back into buys to later give us a clear breakout right about there. That is a breakout that caused even the breakout on H4. If you can see this one right here, so I can delete that and just see this on the H4. Caused the breakout even on H4, and this one was never respected. So this support was broken out. We didn't see much of a retest. It was just one candle there, then that one there, so we didn't see much of that retest. So now I want to first delete everything right here and look at what I have. So this has been broken out, and now we are oversold. Why? Because of that level, that order block right there. Yeah, because of that, that is where this buy momentum started from. So because of that, price is oversold. If I go to H4, if I go to daily time frame, let's delete that. We need sales, and now we have a change of character. So now things change. Now we are no longer looking for buys. Why? Because we have a change of character right about here. This is where we have our change of character from, right there. So we have our change of character according to daily time frame. So if we have our change of character and price on H4 is now oversold, so it tells us that buys are coming in to confirm this change of character, and then we come in later with continuation of sales to break this support on H4 and continue with sales. So now this I can delete, this I can delete. I think even this, all this, actually this can remain. I can delete those two. This can remain since it is our support level. Just I can have it there. All right, so sales on the daily time frame are on. Are they on the weekly? Yes. So now we need a pullback on H4 to give us sales again, to confirm that change of character or to confirm the reversal on the daily time frame. Then we can come in with sales. So now we know that we need buys on lower time frames on H4 and H1 and M15. So can we get some buys? Not yet, until M15 gives us a go ahead. So M15 is not yet ready to give us a confirmed entry for the buys, so we can wait. But H1 is ready to enter buys, so we wait for confirmation on M15 before we can come in with the buys. So currently M15 is sort of consolidating in a weird way. It's not having momentum for the buys yet, but before the day ends we may get to see one. Before the day ends we may get to see one. So let me see this. Can this make sense right here? I think it does make sense. So that is our resistance trend line up there, and then down below we have our horizontal trend line right about there, and that makes it a descending triangle. Now descending triangles are mostly known for the continuation of sales, but now we have a support. We have a support level, meaning it can now become a reversal. Since it is on a support, it can give us this kind of a reversal since it is found on a support level. All right, I think that's it for today. For this V25S. We can now wait. If you want, you can trade it within this range that we've now understood. Why? Because M5 is in the buys, and M15 it has to come there and then come down until it gets oversold, until M15 gets oversold, and then breaks out this other side to give us buys to push us all the way up there. So M5, you can wait for a pullback and make the entry to take you right there. So wait for a pullback. This is a fair value gap. Has it been mitigated fully? Yes. So is it going to come back to it? I doubt it will, but if it does, then you have an entry. It can come to that, it can come to the order block right about there. So you can have it like that for your entry of this M5 buy to reach all the way up there. That is on V25S. Now enough of this, let's now head over to V75. V75 on Thursday, we were meant to make a lot of money, but we were not yet sure whether it's going to continue with the sales or it's going to continue with the buys, but we already had that level. So let me explain it a bit more. So Thursday was this level, and the price had reacted to that order block, which is an H4, I believe. It should be an H4 order block. And it had given us sort of a flag. It had given us sort of a flag on H1 But then me, I looked at a flag, so I was anticipating pullback to continue with such a buy, such a sell before buys come in. So that's what I was looking at. So we entered buys here. So we entered our buys there, and our TP was of course on the trend line, but then it actually out of nowhere broke out and continued with the buys, and even broke out that resistance level, came, retested it, continued with the buys. So that's how we missed a lot of money, but we made at least that money, which could have actually recovered some of the losses some people had probably. So now we can get into today. Let's look into today now. So let's start with H4. So after price reaching all the way back, it went to try to take on the previous highs right there. It failed, so it retested all the way back to that order block right here, that candle there, and then came back strongly with sells. Now why do I say strongly? Because we see that it's when we saw a breakout on this order block right there. So I want to delete this, that, and then now I want to go to H1. So when price came in with this kind of a pullback all the way from here, you clearly see that it gave us a change of character on H1 right there. Change of character, and price continued with sells. Now on H4, we haven't seen price react since it gave us a break of structure here. It may not come all the way back to that fair value gap to confirm the change of character, because it had already confirmed it right here, right there. So price is likely not to come all the way back there, since it has done this and it had already confirmed the change of character all the way here. So now that that is said, we know that we have fair value gap here, but then we see closely that we are reaching our support. I think we've already reached it. If we use this one right about there, we've already reached our support according to the daily time frame. We've already reached our support. Now, the reason why we wanted buys even more is because it had already touched it and we were looking for price to get all the way back there. Why? Because this is our range that we are in according to daily time frame. From there to here, and then from here back there. Now that price touched here and failed to go all the way up back to that level there, it tells us that price is likely to break and continue with sells, but we can only confirm that on weekly time frame. Yes, weekly says so. Why price is below our 10 MA on weekly time frame? It is still below our 10 MA on daily. Same on H4, but H4 is not yet even oversold, meaning we still have selling momentum. So you can't afford to look for any buys right here, whether on lower time frame or what. You want to follow the higher time frames trend, which is now going to be sells or a downtrend. So all you can do is continue looking for sells. Continue looking for sells. So what do we do now? Let's see. It's on a weird spot. It's on a weird spot right now. I wouldn't do anything, but I know that it's going to likely give us a fake breakout. From what I see, it may not. It's likely to give us a fake breakout just around that conference area, and then continue with sales afterward. And these sales can easily be calculated, or we can easily look at it from this very angle, something like that, from there to come all the way here. So if I go to H4, that will be giving us a breakout. So for now, I can anticipate that, but I cannot enter buys. Why? Because the general trend is a sell. So I can't enter this kind of a buy that I'm seeing on M15. I can only wait for the sales on the higher time frame, once probably gets all the way to this trend line or breaks out to reach this other confluence area to give me another entry for the sales. That's it. So now that we are done with this, I have no business with this. I can't focus on it today unless it reaches all the way up there or gives me an entry on this trend line. But until then, I have no business with this asset. Let me now go to J50. Clearly, one can say that today's market is very slow. Yeah. We may have missed yesterday's entries, but today, since it is a Tuesday, the market is too slow. So J50, Thursday, this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, we were there. So let's now bring it here. So we wanted buys, and clearly buys happened. We just missed an entry, but we should have not missed on Friday to get that entry right about there. Yeah, we wanted a pullback here for us to enter right there. That's what we wanted on Thursday, so that's why we never entered. But then after breakout, this could have been our entry. I think we may have missed the proper entry. We could have entered from there. I don't want to say I'm perfect. I think I would have entered from there, and then that would have been my second entry right there, according to what I see. This pullback would have given me my first entry, then this other pullback would have given me my second entry. Yeah. Okay, so now that I know that, let's now delete all that we cannot use now. Delete, because we were waiting for those buys, and clearly we've hit the target. If you see where I had put my target level right about there, we have hit that target. So let me delete them and we get to see what is happening. Remove history, and now bring it back here. Hit our target right there, then retested. Looking at that, this is according to H1. Retested to that order block, gave us a break of structure. This was already, of course, a break of structure right here. Then give us a new high, low, high, right there where we are currently. So I can delete that. Even this I can delete now. Go to H4 now. Now, according to H4, we are now overbought. According to daily time frame, not yet. So it means we anticipate a retest according to H4. Then later we continue with buys to reach this other level according to daily time frame. Weekly, we need sales. Remember, according to weekly, we still need sales. So once we reach there, according to daily, that's when we are going to come in with sales to reach this other trend line. Looking at here, we never reached it. So that's the thing. So now I can go to daily and look at that. Okay, we reached that order block according to H4. We are overbought and need sales, but they are not yet confirmed. So I have to wait for tomorrow, for the confirmation of sales according to H4. But then if price comes all the way back here on this break of structure, or on the breaker block here, then I can come in with buys. Why? Because we are still in an uptrend. We are not yet, the downtrend is not yet confirmed, whether on H1, whether on H4. So if price comes all the way back here, then my buy entries will come in, but they will not exceed that level there. I will not exceed that level. I'll be taking my profits right there. So if I go to M15, I see clearly that we still need buys. But then there's some weird structure that we have here. We have a weird structure right there, which can be a pennant. It's in a shape of a pennant. So that tells us that price can easily give you this kind of a fake breakout that we are talking about, then before it gives you this other move, this other buy move that we are looking at, this other buy move like that one right there to take us all the way up there. Okay, so I think buys are still on from what we are seeing. We may even reach that level immediately before we react according to H4, according to what we want on H4. So what do? We wait. This retest here may happen, it may not happen. This is what? This is a pennant. So it may not happen. So you need to know that, and know that it can easily come all the way there and continue with the buys. All right, I think that's it on this asset, which is a jump 50. Now let's get to jump 25, J25. So J25, we knew that was happening. Did we enter? Let me see. J25. No, I never entered, but we already knew that was happening on Thursday. So I hope you guys who kept on coming to Thursday's analysis, episode 185, you were able to get that kind of a buy there. But then we wanted sales from that very level to start sales, and the sales of course started like we had anticipated. So now let's look at Thursday. Why did we not enter? We wanted a pullback here to confirm the buys, to give us an entry, and it never happened. So meaning we couldn't enter. So now we can delete all that. So that we never entered, that price reached that level and started to sell. So now we can delete that level also. Come to first H4. H4 still needs buys, and actually the entry that we wanted on Thursday, it happened. Did it happen? Not really, did not happen still. So seeing what I'm seeing on H1, sales, same as on M15, but then H4 wants buys. So this tells me that price is likely to first delete this. Price is likely to first come again for this fair value gap right here. This is a crucial fair value gap that price can not just cannot just miss to mitigate. So for now, I will have it right about there and wait and see if we can actually anticipate some sells. According to H4, we need buys. According to daily time frame, we need buys. Yeah, that's why you see prices above our 10 MA. But then we wanted sells. That was the analysis, the initial analysis, which is according to weekly. It's still weird. It's according to weekly. So but daily we need buys, that's for sure. And clearly, according to daily, I see that it is a confirmed buy. It is a confirmed buy. Price has come to react on this order block right on the daily time frame. So we may not see price come all the way back here from what I'm seeing. From what I've just seen now on the daily, price came back, touched that order block on the daily, and the buys started immediately. So this order block on H4 that we are saying price may have to come back to touch it, we are likely not to see it touched. H1, let's go to H1. Let's use our trend line and we see probably something may make sense for which to come back. H4, this is our fair value gap. That is our fair value gap on H4. So I'm seeing this. I can't do anything now until this point is clearly marked, but if it closes here and starts to sell, then we will be having our trend line like that or like this. So for now this hasn't closed, so I can't do anything, so I have to wait. All we know is we will see a pullback. That's what we know. That's what we know according to lower time frame. According to lower time frame H1 and M15, that's all we know. And clearly on M15, it's yet to give us a confirmation of that kind of a move, but it's about to give us that from what we see on CCI, being overbought. So if we have that confirmed, then we know it will be coming at least to the fair value gap of H4. So for now, I will leave it as a point that I can wait on. Even though we've seen on daily, it's likely not to be necessary. But let's just have it and wait and see if it is actually going to come through. So for now, I have no business with J25 until I see sales come in so that I can enter that kind of a pullback sell. Alright, J10, it's our second last asset. We have about 4 minutes to close. Oh, today we've talked a lot. So J10, what happened? We wanted a pullback, then buys, but then price changed. The structure changed. We got a break of structure there. Excuse me. We got a break of structure, pullback, break of structure until it gave us a change of character here, right about there. That's where we saw a change of character from, according to H4, and that was on Monday, Sunday. That was on Sunday. That's when we got to see a change of character, and it was confirmed on H1. It was confirmed on H1 when it did that. So now we can delete these, because because we wanted buys from that level. Why? It had reacted to this order block, which is a weekly order block. That's why we were looking for buys. But remember, buys are not yet confirmed on the weekly. So it means the daily time frame, we are going to enter buys, but then it will end up coming back to confirm the buys on the weekly. So now I can delete that. Yeah, so weekly we are looking for buys, but then still buys are not yet confirmed on the daily time frame. So it means we will be anticipating a pullback on the daily before we can come in again strongly on the daily. But on lower time frames like H4, we have a confirmed change of character right there. This was supposed to be our entry for the buy, but you can see the momentum is not yet is not yet strong. Why? Because we haven't confirmed the buys on the daily and on the weekly. So that's why this move is very necessary. This move is very necessary. Yeah, this move is very necessary. It can either come back to that order block where the buy momentum started from, or it can even break out and continue down to give us a fake breakout on the weekly time frame. Yeah, I'm saying all this because we already know how price can be. We are not market makers, we are market followers, so we follow what these guys do. So if they give us a fake breakout here, then we can come in with our buys right there according to weekly time frame. But of course, if they give us an entry right here on this order block of H4, then we know we can still enter again. But for now, looking at what I have on H1, that is a reversal confirmation. Actually not yet confirmed, but that is a change of character right there. So it's just coming back here to test that level, and then we come in with sales. Yeah, according to H1 there, that's what I see. So for now, I have no business with this. M15 is consolidating, but we all know that it's going to later get into sales. It's going to later get into sales right there. We all know that. So that's how today is gonna be. So for now, no business with J10. It can even give you a fake breakout before you come in with a sell. So for now, no business with this asset. Let's now get into gold, and we call it a day. So Thursday we wanted buys, and our buys were starting from this order block right there. We got a fake breakout. Why do I say that was a fake breakout? Anyways, we knew it can actually go there. Why? Because of this kind of a trend line. So it came to touch that trend line, and it became a fake breakout according to H4. You can see the wick. From that order block. That was a wick, and then immediately buys came through. So this move to touch the trend line is what took me out actually. I think it took me out. Why? Because most of the times I have my tight stop losses. Let me see. Yeah, I was taken out right there, and I didn't enter because I had another meeting. That's why I could not enter again. So it took me out, came to this level, I rotated around it, but then eventually when the New York, was it the New York? No, on Friday around the London session, price got enough momentum to break out and continue with the buys. Yeah, you can see that right about there. So I made a loss on gold on Thursday due to my tight stop loss, but the buy was still on, and up to now it is still on, as we can see according to higher time frame. Yeah, according to higher time frame, we are still in an uptrend because that was a breakout structure. But if you go to lower time frame like on H1, you clearly see that currently we have a change of character in making. It is even confirmed. This is a retest to confirm that change of character, but then price is failing to break this level. We are still in the New York. New York has just opened about 32 minutes ago. I'm in the London session. So I want to delete everything right here. Delete this too. Delete that. This TP hasn't been reached yet, so it's likely, from what I analyzed early morning, price is about to can easily react here on this break of structure and then continue with the buys to reach our target right there. Why? Because our target is on the daily. That is a fair value gap right about there. Then according to weekly, we come in again with sells, even though daily time frame will be showing that we need to look for buys that will be coming in with sells once price gets around this or just to above there. We know that we'll be coming in with sells. So that's why I'm saying price is likely to react just here on the breaker block and then continue with the buys. So let's wait for the New York session to open. But for now, can we enter some sales? Let's see. And not really. Market is very slow. Don't force any trade on gold currently because the momentum is slow. But all we know is it's likely to come to this breaker block and then later come in with buys to continue. All right, that's it for today. Let's do a recap and we call it a day. Let's do a recap and then we call it a day. So we started with crash. We want this kind of a pullback, then we can come in with sells again. Can we enter buys? Not yet. Not yet. We don't have a confirmation of any buys unless we see a reversal signal on M15. Then we can enter buys to reach here or there, and then we come in with sells again. Boom 1000. Yeah, what we thought of has happened, but then we need it to come and break this level. Once it breaks this level, then you have your entry for the sells. If it fails and continues with a buy, that will be a break of structure. That means you can't continue anticipating buys, because buys can continue actually to reach that level and then come in with sells. So buys can actually continue like that. So for now, we wait. We have no entry for sales yet. Boom 500. If we get a pullback there, then we can enter. In fact, we could have entered sales when we got this kind of a pullback candle on M15. But now it has left us, so we know that sales are going to come around here. If you're a scalper, you can scalp it to reach this level. In that, once it reaches here, it's gonna come in with the buys. And clearly you see that level is matching with this order block. So either you can put your buy limit orders here for this kind of a move, or you can wait and do it manually for this kind of a buy. And this kind of a buy, you can wait for it on M5. It's gonna be a buy on M5, not on M15. It's gonna be confirmed on M5, not on M15. So wait for that. V25S, yeah, reach there, and then we can come in with with a sell, but then we wanted a pullback. It never happened, so we know that it's going to break out later. It may not be now, but later to break out to continue with the buys. So be assured to look for buys, not sells. But of course, if it reacts all the way here on the trend line, you can go to M5 and M1 to confirm your sell entries. Probably M5, not M1. Yeah. Use M5 to confirm your sell entries for the scalping move to reach all the way back to this other trend line. V75, I think I can enter buys where we are. Can I? M15 is still saying sells. H4 is still saying sells. So I can't. That tells me I can't for now. Unless on M15 price gets above my 10 MA. Yeah, this is a break of structure on M5, so that's the reason I cannot enter buys now. Until I see a reversal on M5, then I can enter this kind of a move to reach the other trend line. We have a breakout there on J25. Like I told you, the price can easily break out and continue, but I deleted that trend line. Remember, I mean that arrow. I told you it can easily do that. Yeah, but there are many, so I deleted it. So apparently it has done that. It has given us a breakout. So you can either wait for this candle to close or you can enter now, because the buy is on and it's gonna get to that level. It's gonna get to that order block, and this is according to M15 and H1. So how do we do this? Do I enter now? Excuse me. Do I enter now? Not really. Just wait a little bit. Yeah, that is on jump 50. We wanted this pullback, but it did not happen. So either it's giving us a fake breakout up there to come for this and then buy, or the buys to continue according to H1. According to H1, to reach there, then you can come in with sells according to H4. All right, so this is still a no-go for me. That is still a no-go for me. Then J25, it's still a no-go for us, but we know that we'll be anticipating once this point is closed up, it will be closed up by price breaking this level to confirm the reversal. Yeah, to confirm the reversal. So if we have this point confirmed, then we will know that this is the thing right here. Then we'll be knowing that that is the thing. Then we'll be knowing that price is coming for this kind of a move to even get all the way back to this fair value gap and give us an entry for the buys to take us all the way up there. To take us all the way up there. So for now, no business with this. Let's wait. Let's wait. J10, yeah, fake breakout has happened, so we wait for this kind of a move to give us the sells that we need. So the breakout has happened right about there. So is it going to give us what we need? Let's wait and see if we will be able to sell around that level. Yeah. And lastly is gold. Gold, we are likely to see something like this, and then we continue with buys. Yeah, we are likely to see something like that, and then we continue with buys. But then, according to, yeah, that is it. That is it. Nothing else. We need to see this. So it's likely going to keep in this kind of a format. I don't know how I can draw it. It's likely to keep within this kind of a format, but I need to wait for this to close. I need to wait for this current point to close. So for now, I can't draw it, but it's likely to keep within. It's gonna be like a channel until it reaches this other level, and then the buys start again. All right, I think that's it for today. I want to say thank you to everyone that joined us, and those that of course apparently are not on the WhatsApp community channel, you can use the link in the description. Those that don't have the deriv account, you can use the link in the description still, and register with deriv. Those that need to learn how I analyze, my way of analyzing how I trade, the strategies I use to trade, then you have the number to call on your screen. Same number you can use to contact me if you want to subscribe for the August VIP group, or to subscribe for August under the VIP signals platform. So that's it. Let me wish you guys a good day. See you tomorrow, same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye-bye.